guys, what's up? It's Joe Rady from Rady's Rides, and I am at a very special location today in Florida. I am at Jordan Performance and Racing, and this is just an amazing facility. I know many of you out there are huge Mustang fans. Well, guess what? I have a Mustang that's going to blow your mind. Let me give you a little bit of background on Jordan Performance and Racing. The company was actually created by Justin Jordan and his wife Melissa about, I would say, almost 5 years ago, and since then they've really been able to lay a mark when it comes to high performance at the drag strip, because what we have today for you is this 2014 Mustang GT that is the fastest street car in existence. This thing with a stock block, believe it or not, in the quarter mile, you're looking at 6.87 second quarter mile time at 201 mile an hour trap speed. That's the performance we're talking about when it comes to Jordan Performance and Racing. And that's what he loves about the name. Is it's not about just the performance, but it's about taking the product and taking it to the strip and racing with it. And that's what really proves the product in the end. Now, at Jordan Performance and Racing, they do it all, from just simple bolt-ons for you. They could also go nitrous route, and you could also do another power adder like a supercharger or turbochargers. But what we have, like I said, featured for today is this car that is known as NIGHTTMARE on the drag racing and street racing scene, this 2014 S197 Mustang GT. Let's go ahead and start off at the front. First of all, what I love about this car, not only is it fast, but it looks so sinister. I think one of my favorite designs when it comes to the Mustang is going to be that S197. Love the classic styling. I love the way it has such a stock appearance with the headlights. This thing is street driven. When he ran that 6.87 in the quarter mile, after they were done, they drove it to dinner. So that's what, when we say street driven, this thing actually can go down the street. Love the front end. You could see the massive, what they wound up doing is opening up the grille to get airflow back there. Wait until you see what is waiting for us underneath the hood, because I'm telling you, at Jordan Performance and Racing, they've worked the magic. They've taken these parts, and when I say parts, these aren't some special one-off pieces. This is off-the-shelf stuff that, with their hard work and dedication at the strip, have been able to create such a performance package with this car that it is just dynamite. But I just love the overall styling of these Mustangs, especially this particular one. Now, as we pop onto the hood, you can see how there's been some openings that have been cut into the stock hood, and that is really, at the end of the day, what you're going to see is a lot of stock parts on this car, even though it is such a fast performer down the quarter mile drag strip. Let's go ahead and focus on the side here. What you're going to see with we're running, so underneath the sheet metal, you're going to see BMR racing suspension, because remember, when it comes to a car like this, which on the dyno to the wheels, it's putting about 1,500 horsepower. It's all about getting that horsepower to the ground, because you could just spin your tires all day long. If you're not going forward, you're not going. Weld racing wheels. These are a mainstay that's been in drag racing for years and years and years. These are fully forged racing wheels. Obviously, for that performance, you're going to need to use those quality names, those quality parts that you could rely on. And trust me, Justin has done the homework, has done all the research to run only the best on his products. But if you look down the side of this Mustang, absolutely beautiful, sinister, and yet not only does it a looker, but it is also a goer as well. Let's go ahead and focus on the passenger side. Like I said, one thing that's important to him is his team behind him, and one person that's very, very important to him is his wife Melissa. It's really that whole operation of having your best friend with you, working together to create this. Because what a lot of people don't understand is, you may see this car and you say, wow, look at this car, it's amazing. There's a lot of hard work that happens way before anybody gets to the drag strip or anywhere else, and that takes a team. And that's what's awesome about Jordan Performance and Racing. They have such a phenomenal team here. You're going to see these doors, carbon fiber, all about cutting weight. So it's not just about producing more horsepower out of the engine, it's also about cutting weight where you can. If you're wondering, well, hey, how much does this weigh? You're looking at about 3,300 pounds. So We're not talking about some fancy Pro Mod Featherlight or something like that. This thing, you drive it, he backs it out of his driveway and drives it to work if he wanted to. That's how good it is. Let's go ahead and work our way towards the back. Love the lines on this particular year Mustang. If you look up onto the hood, I'll have Tom showcase that carbon fiber roof up there. Very nicely done. And then as we work past on the rear window, you can see all the wonderful brands that Jordan Performance and Racing is associated with. These are products that they sell, that they could provide to their customers, but guess what? They also use themselves because that's what they believe in. Now to wrap out the back, you can see we have our laundry packed up. You're running this type of quarter-mile time, you're gonna need a chute. That's a no-brainer. I love the carbon fiber rear deck lid spoiler coming off the back. Remember, aerodynamics. When you're doing that kind of speed, 201 miles an hour, aerodynamics is gonna play a huge role in how the car gets down the track. To get the power to the ground, you're looking at that Profab 8.8-inch rear end. Check out the size of the tires. We're not running some tubbed out, huge slicks and all that kind of stuff. This is stuff that is gonna fit within the confines of that Mustang body. Speaking about this bad Mustang, let's go ahead and check out underneath the hood and see what is producing all that wonderful horsepower to get us down the track with that amazing time and speed. Let's go check it out. All right, guys, it's time to see underneath the hood of this street beast. You know, this car has that nickname Nightmare. It gives a lot of its competitors nightmares, I promise you that. So to open up the hood, obviously it's gonna be a 1, 2, 3 thing. And what's amazing about this hood is that that is a stock Ford piece. We're not running some lightweight carbon fiber hood. You could see when I talked about earlier that whole trial and error, we focused on these cutout holes. I know some of you were wondering, well, what was up with that? That was a part of the whole trial and error process. You know, Justin thought, hey, if we try to get some airflow in a different capacity through that hood, would it increase the power? Would it increase the trap speed? It actually worked backwards. It actually took away a couple miles per hour. And that is what happens when you're in this type of business and you're doing it yourself, is sometimes you may think something's gonna work out, but you gotta work with it and go with it. One thing I do want to point out that I know a lot of Mustang fans, if you notice, no prop rod. So it's nice to see that we have that hood strut that helps Justin get underneath the hood of this. And I know every time I put a Mustang video on Rady's Rides, that's the #1 thing everybody says, why are they still using prop rods? That's just what we got. But if you look, stock front fenders, stock front fascia, no fancy carbon fiber, there is that. Technically, if you want to be, if we're getting technical, which I know some of you are, 303 cubic inch engine that is stock block though. We're not running some fancy stuff. What you're looking at, and like we said earlier, this is off the shelf parts. These aren't parts made just for Justin by his sponsors and his companies that he gets parts from. These are things that you come to Jordan Performance and Racing, you could have on your Mustang. So at the end of the day, on this 303, you're looking at a Hellion Twin-Turbo setup. Those are dual precision 64-66 turbos. It's an MPR Racing Engines long block, an AEM Infinity Series 7 standalone ECU. You're also going to be getting that power to the rear end through a Power Glide transmission. It's got ID 2000 injectors, and it's tuned and fully built by Jordan Performance Racing right here in Florida. This is the magic that they're doing. And like I said, 2014, maybe not the longest amount of time, but boy, what they have been able to figure out with this setup and get those numbers at the end of the day, this is it. 6.87 seconds in the quarter mile with a 201 mile per hour trap speed. I don't know about you, looking at this is glorious. Seeing the car, hearing about the story, let's go ahead and fire up Nightmare. right, guys, this is an opportunity that I've been waiting for all day. I get to get inside a Nightmare where Justin sits behind the wheel, the business end, and the best part is I get to share that opportunity with all of you. Now, we are gonna fire this beast up. What you need to do, this isn't like just jumping in and turning a key and off you go. So when it comes to rules and regulations, you have to have a battery cutoff. So each car is gonna be different. On Nightmare, it's this pull tab here. So basically when it's in, no power. When you want power, that's when you pull back on it, and what happens is there's gonna be a line of LEDs. I know you can't see them, but I promise you, they're lit up. I can see it through the window on the floorboard on the passenger side to let his team know, which basically what I've discovered every time he is running at the track, it's his wonderful wife, Melissa, who is part of that team to help Justin get down that quarter mile. Lights are on, she knows power's on, it's good to go. Now we're gonna go over and get inside of Nightmare. This isn't like any other car. We don't have a nice door handle to use, so what we're gonna do is there's a nice cutout in the window here. You click back, door is open. Now, there is a process to getting in. You're not just gonna jump in, and Justin has walked me through it because remember, we're dealing with some lightweight carbon fiber parts that really don't want a 200-pound person pushing on them. So this is how you're gonna go get into your street-driven car if you are Justin. You're gonna go ahead and put your foot in, put your hand down here, and 1, 2, 3. I'm telling you, first time doing it, I think this car was made for me. I really do. Love the seating position. Now you're wondering, hold on, there's something missing. Steering wheel. If you've never been around a race car, and it doesn't matter if you're a drag racer, road racer, you're gonna have to put the steering wheel onto the spline. So what you're gonna do is you take, I'm sure Tom could show you back here, we're gonna line up the pin, and you're gonna just put it right over and pull back, and then steering wheel is locked in and on. Now, what's wonderful about Justin's setup that I really like, first of all, attention to detail. These are things that I like to speak about, is that it's not just about having the fastest car. I like to have a good looking car, but I also like the install to just almost be like factory-esque, and that's what you're gonna get at Jordan Performance and Racing. They do things in such a way that it's so clean, and I know this is his car, the shop car, but he puts the same love, attention to detail into his customers' cars. That's why they come to Jordan Performance and Racing. One thing I want to show you is I'm going to have Tom come in. Just check out how clean everything is with the whole stock center stack. You can see that from rules and regulations, you got full radio controls, AC controls. All of this is stock. Remember, this is hooked up, that engine is hooked up to a Power Glide transmission. The one thing that I really like is this nice little setup here. Very clean with all the switches. So you're going to have your ignition, your starter, fuel pump, fan and water pump. Then you're going to have accessories and just all these different controls that you could add in, and it helps not only with starting and stopping the car, but also if, God forbid, there's an emergency, Justin could go ahead and just kill power. But I'm going to go ahead and turn on the ignition and really show off this AEM unit. You could see there's Nightmare at the quarter mile. That's Bradenton Motorsports Park. You could see all the different readouts, the coolant temp, oil pressure, throttle percentage, the whole 9 yards. And what's really neat with this AEM unit is you could scroll through. There's your tachometer, there's the gear, coolant temp, boost gauge. Just a wonderful, clean setup. And what Justin was telling me is even on the sunniest summer days, there's no washout or anything like that. It's very easy to see, clear graphics. Another thing I want to point out is this is something that Justin put together, this nice clear control panel with different mappings, boost gauge, the whole 9 yards set up right here. Just so clean and so perfect. But if you're ready, I'm ready to fire this up. Very, very lucky that Justin is allowing me to do this. So we have the ignition on. I'm going to go ahead and fire up the starter, and then I'm going to turn on the water pump. Do you hear that? That is amazing, and how simple it was to fire this car up. Check out the dash. You can see all the readouts and everything. Just a wonderful experience here on Rady's Rides. And then at the end of the day, when you're done, you're just going to go ahead and you shut it off, and he's pulled right into his driveway. Guess what? This car is driven. And when I say driven, I'm talking about on the street. 30 miles. Drives it to work. Unbelievable. if you're ready, I don't want to leave. I really don't want to get out of this car, but if you're ready, I'm ready to wrap this one up. Let's go ahead and wrap it up. All right, guys, it's been one amazing time here at Jordan Performance and Racing. I just want to definitely give a huge thank you, and just amazing how the doors have just been opened for Rady's Rides. Thank you, Justin, and everybody at Jordan Performance and Racing for allowing Rady's Rides not only access into the shop, but access to the fastest street car around, Nightmare. What an amazing ride. Guess what? Stay tuned. I got a rain check. As you can see, it's raining. I got a rain check from Justin. There is going to be a part 2 to this, and fingers crossed he will remember what he said and will let me drive Nightmare, which that wasn't even on my mind. I didn't even think that that would happen. But if these are the types of cars that you like to see on Rady's Rides, cars that people have put their blood, sweat, tears, and soul into, definitely leave a comment in that comment section. If there's anything in particular you want to see, leave a comment in that comment section. If you have not subscribed yet, everybody here at Jordan Performance is wondering, what the heck are you thinking? Hit that subscribe button. I promise you it's worthwhile coming back each and every day. If you are a subscriber, thank you. I'm very grateful for you being on this journey with me, being able to share opportunities like this. I never thought in a million years when we started Rady's Rides that I would be able to bring you cars like Nightmare, 201 miles per hour in the quarter mile to you. Amazing. Thank you for your dedication and your trust. Make sure you check out my Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter pages. All Rady's Rides original content all the time. I don't copy and paste other people's stuff. If you're looking to help promote the channel and support the channel, get yourself some Rady's Rides merch. How do you do that? There's a button somewhere above my head. Click that. It takes you to Spreadshirt, hats, hoodies, bandanas, the whole shabam. Definitely got to give a huge big thank you to Tom Moschner, Big Guns McGee, working that camera. He drank extra protein this morning to film this because he knew that he had to bring his A++ game for Jordan Performance and Racing. So definitely, Tom, thank you. I know all the subscribers love you out there. And just like always, guys, I'll see you on the next ride.